Hello guys and welcome back to TechWolf and to another Comptia A+ Core 2 quiz. And this quiz will be 25 questions long. And if you would like to support the channel, click the button join, which is next to the subscribe button under this video. And now, no further ado, let's get into it. What is the name of an operating system installation type that preserves the system settings, personal files, and applications from the older operating system version? Clean install, image deployment, unattended installation, or in-place upgrade? And the correct answer here is in-place upgrade. Which of the following replaced removable media used for reformatting storage drives and restoring an operating system to the original factory condition? System partition, primary partition, recovery partition, or extended partition? And here the correct answer is recovery partition. A type of Windows installation that erases the entire contents of a target partition is called refresh, in-place upgrade, clean install, or repair installation. And the correct answer here is clean install. Which of the installation types listed below provides a simpler and less costly alternative to manual operating system installation in an environment consisting of multiple hosts requiring the same configuration settings? Remote network installation, in-place upgrade, unattended installation, or image deployment? The correct answer here is image deployment. Windows repair installation, here we need to select the three answers: removes user applications, removes user files, does not affect the user applications, does not affect user files, preserves application configuration settings, or modifies application configuration settings. So what is related to Windows repair installation? And here the correct answers are: does not affect the user applications, preserves application configuration settings, and also does not affect user files. Which of the following enable installation of an operating system via network interface? Select two answers: GPT, diskpart, netboot, GP update, or PXE. So which one of these can be used to install or perform installation over the network? And here the correct answers are netboot and PXE. Devices that are not detected during the operating system installation process might require loading alternative third-party drivers. This statement is true or false? And yes, this statement is true. Which of the sources listed below allow for obtaining, installing, and updating device drivers used by Microsoft Windows operating systems? Select three answers: Windows Device Manager Utility, Device Manufacturer, Computer Management Utility, Windows Update, or Microsoft Store. And here the correct answers are Device Manufacturer, Windows Device Manager Utility, and Windows Update are the correct answers. What are the advantages of organizing storage drive space into multiple partitions? Select three answers. Why we would want to create multiple partitions on our computers or on workstation? What are the main advantages? And here we also need to select three answers. Increased overall disk storage space available for user data, separated disk space used for virtual memory, multi-boot environment, preventative measure against drive failures, or separation of user files from the operating system and application files. So which are the three benefits of creating partitions on your computer? And here the correct answers are separated disk space used for virtual memory, multi-boot environment, and separation of user files from the operating system and application files. These are the three correct answers. Which of the following answers refers to a unique string of characters used in identifying hardware, software, and data? URI, OUI, OID, or GUID. So which of the following answers refers to a unique string of characters used to identify hardware, software and data? And the correct answer here is GUID. Which of the answers listed below describes the characteristics of the MBR partition style? So there is GPT and MBR partition styles which you need to know about for your Comptia Plus Core 2 exam. And this question is asking what are characteristics of MBR partition style. Support for disks larger than 2 TB, maximum disk size limit of 2 TB, legacy BIOS, overall number of partitions limited to 4, UEFI BIOS, and up to 28 primary partitions. And here the correct answer is, it is a legacy BIOS, so this is the oldest version of BIOS. Maximum disk size limit is up to 2 TB, and overall number of partitions is limited to 4. Which of the following answers refer to GPT? Up to 128 primary partitions, maximum disk size limit of 2 TB, legacy BIOS, support for disk larger than 2 TB, overall number of partitions limited to 4, and UEFI BIOS. And here we also need to select 3 answers. And here the correct answer is up to 128 primary partitions, support for disks larger than 2 TB, and UEFI BIOS are the correct answers. In GPT disk architecture, each partition is labeled with a unique identifier known as GUID. Is it true or false? And yes, this is true answer. Quick format. Here we need to select in regards to quick format 3 answers. Erases all data to prevent its recovery, does not check the drive for bad sectors, requires more time than full format, requires less time than full format, does not erase data, and checks the drive for bad sectors. And the correct answers here are does not check the drive for bad sectors, as when you are performing quick format, it is not checking the drive for bad sectors, and it requires less time than full format, as quick format is being executed much faster than full format and does not erase data. So quick format also does not erase any data. Full format, and here we also need to select 3 answers, and here is exactly the same type of question, only what full format is doing or how it is different from quick format. Requires more time than quick format, checks the drive for bad sectors, requires less time than quick format, erases all data to prevent its recovery, does not erase data, does not check the drive for bad sectors. And here the correct answers are requires more time than quick format, checks the drive for bad sectors, and also erases all data to prevent its recovery. A list of computer hardware proven to be compatible with particular operating system is referred to as AJL, PRL, HCL, or CRL. And the correct answer here is HCL, which stands for Hardware Compatibility List. Which of the answers listed below refers to a file extension used in macOS for a file that contains an exact copy of a content of a storage device? .pkg, .pfx, .dmg, or .app? And here the correct answer is .dmg. Which of the following answers refers to the macOS application installer file? So, which is the extension of application installer file, whether it's .pkg, .exe, .dmg, or .app or app? And the correct answer here is .pkg. Which location in macOS provides access to application updates menu? App Store, Explorer, Spotlight, or iCloud? So which location in macOS provides access to application updates menu? So where would you go to update applications in macOS? And here the correct answer is App Store. And here we need to answer whether it's true or false. An application in macOS can be executed by double-clicking on an icon with .app file extension. The icon with .app file extension also points to a directory, aka application bundle, that contains all the files necessary to run the application. Contents of the directory can be examined by right-clicking on the application's icon and selecting Show Package Contents from the context menu. The process of uninstalling macOS applications that stores all files in one place is simplified and relies on moving the program icon to the system recycle bin called trash. Is it false or true? And here the correct answer is this is true, as all you need to do if you would want to move the application or delete application in macOS is to move it to trash and it will be deleted. Which of the answers listed below refers to an SSO solution for all Apple's products and services? Sign in with Apple. And SSO, for those who doesn't know, this is single sign-on. This means, and this is also what you need to know, SSO shortcut, which stands for single sign-on. Which of the answers listed below refers to a single sign-on solution for Apple's products and services? Sign in with Apple, Secure Enclave, Apple ID, or Gatekeeper. And here the correct answer is Apple ID. And this question needs to be answered with true or false. Managed Apple ID is an account management solution that allows system administrators to disable certain features of Apple devices used by employees in a business environment. Is it true or false? And here the correct answer is that this is true. Which of the following macOS features allows to create switchable desktop environments? Aero, Spaces, Personalization, or Display? And here the correct answer is Spaces. Time Machine is built-in backup utility for Windows, Linux, macOS, and other. And here the correct answer is that Time Machine is built-in backup utility for macOS. A macOS system feature providing single-screen thumbnail preview of all open windows and applications is known as Mission Control, Spotlight, Desktop Window Manager, or Screen Sharing. And the correct answer here is Mission Control. Which of the following are examples of hardware tokens? Select two answers. Cable lock, key fob, smart card, biometric reader, or passphrase. And here the correct answers are key fob and smart card. And that's the correct answer. If an application written for an earlier version of Microsoft Windows doesn't run correctly, the operating system can emulate its own older version to allow a given program to work with newer hardware or software. The compatibility mode settings in Windows 10 can be changed manually by right-click on the program icon and selecting Run Program using Recommended Compatibility Settings option from a pop-up menu. Choosing Restore Previous Versions option from a pop-up menu, and then applying the required settings on the Compatibility tab. Selecting Compatibility Mode option from the pop-up menu and applying the required settings. Or click on the Properties menu item, applying the required settings on the Compatibility tab. And here, if you are looking at this question and you think that this question is quite complicated, then first thing in exam, if you are doing your Comptia Plus Core 2 exam, you always look at the very startings like I'm mentioning in all these test quizzes. Always try to understand the meaning of what question is asking and look at the start of the answers, because in many cases, in 90% of cases, the correct answer is already at the very start of the answer. And here you would know that in many cases, or also in more than 90% of cases, everything happens whenever you click in properties, whether it's managing printers, whether it's managing applications, or whether it's managing your files and folders on your operating system. If you want to do some changes, most likely you will be clicking on properties. So here's also the correct answer is clicking on the properties menu item, applying the required settings on the compatibility tab. And this is the correct answer. Next question, which of the answers listed below refers to a type of file containing an exact copy of the contents of an optical disc? Snapshot file, shadow copy, swap file, ISO image, or master image? And here the correct answer is ISO image. Which of the following answer refers to application distribution methods? So what type of application distribution methods are there? All of the above. This means that all answers are correct. Network downloads, USB flash drives, ISO images, optical storage media, CD, DVD or Blu-ray discs. And here the correct answer is all of the above. Which of the statements listed below describes the characteristic features of open source application and operating systems? So, open source applications. Select two answers. Free access to the application code, proprietary software, permission to use application only under certain conditions, lack of free access to the application code, permission to modify and redistribute the application. And here the correct answer is free access to the application code and permission to modify and redistribute the application. As with open source applications, you can freely interact with code, you can create your own versions of applications, and you can freely distribute these types of applications. Which of the following are not examples of proprietary software? Select all that apply. iOS, MS Windows, Linux, Android, or macOS? And the correct answers here is Linux, as Linux is not proprietary software, and Android, as Android is also not a proprietary software. And this is correct answer. Which of the answers listed below refers to the characteristics of macOS? Select all that apply. Designed for tablets, developed by Apple, designed for desktops, developed by Microsoft, designed for laptops, or developed by Google? And here the correct answer is developed by Apple, designed for laptops, and also designed for desktops. What is the name of the lightweight operating system designed by Google for small factor PCs, laptops, tablets, and mobile devices? macOS, Android, Chrome OS, or iOS? And here the correct answer is Chrome OS, or Chrome operating system. Which of the following answers refers to an operating system that uses web browser as its main user interface? macOS, Linux, Chrome OS, or Microsoft Windows? And here the correct answer also is Chrome operating system, or Chrome OS. Which of the answers listed below refer to the characteristics of iPad OS? Select two answers. Developed by Microsoft, developed by Google, designed for workstations, developed by Apple, designed for smartphones, or designed for tablets? So iPad OS. And here straight away we know that it is developed by Apple. And as it is iPad OS, this means that it is also designed for tablets. And these are the correct answers. An Apple proprietary operating system, or OS, designed for tablets, smartphones and mobile devices is called Android, macOS, Chrome OS, or iOS? And here the correct answer is iOS. Which of the following answers refers to an open source mobile operating system designed by Google for smartphones and tablets? iOS, Windows, Android, or Chrome OS? And here the correct answer is Android. Examples of workstations include. So what are the workstations, or which operating systems are made for workstations from all of these? Select all that apply. Android, iPadOS, Windows, Linux, iOS, macOS, or Chrome OS. And here the correct answers are Windows, Linux, and macOS, and Chrome OS, as Chrome OS is also made for desktop computers. And these are the correct answers. Which of the answers listed below refer to operating systems used in smartphones and tablets? Select three answers: iPadOS, macOS, Chrome OS, Android, and iOS. And here the correct answers are iOS, Android, and iPadOS. Which of the following answers refers to a file system type specific to Microsoft Windows operating systems? So which file systems are compatible with Microsoft Windows operating system? In other words, this question would sound exFAT, FAT32, APFS, NTFS, ext4, or ext3. And here the correct answers would be exFAT, FAT32, and NTFS, or New Technology File System, which is the native or developed by Microsoft File System. And let's submit, and these are the correct answers. The 4 GB maximum file size limit and 2 TB maximum volume size limit are the characteristic features of which file system? FAT32, exFAT, NFS, or NTFS file system. So which characteristics are these? 4 GB maximum file size or folder size and limit of 2 TB maximum per partition, or in Windows partition is called volume. And here the correct answer is FAT32. The advantages of NTFS over FAT32 file system include compression. All of the above features are improvements implemented in NTFS, not available in FAT32. Encryption, disk quotas, object permissions, increased file size limit. And here the correct answer is all of the above features are improvements implemented in NTFS, which are not available in FAT32 file system. ext3 and ext4 are examples of default file system used by. So for which operating systems the default file systems are ext3 and ext4? macOS, iOS, Linux distributions, or Windows Server? And here the correct answer is Linux distributions. Which of the answers listed below refers to a file system developed by Apple for its operating systems? NTFS, FAT, exFAT, or APFS? And here the correct answer is APFS. A Microsoft proprietary file system optimized for flash drives is known as FAT32, exFAT, NFS, APFS, or ext3. And here the correct answer is exFAT. Which of the following terms refers to a product service that no longer receives continuing support? EOL, ETL, EOF, or ERP? And here the correct answer is EOL, or end of life. An operating system cross-platform compatibility feature allows certain types of data files created on one type of operating system to be seamlessly read and modified on different operating system type. And is it true or false? And here the correct answer is that it is true. Another true or false question, asking if all modern applications are designed as cross-platform software which allows them to be run on different operating systems, e.g. Windows, Linux or macOS, without any modifications in the application source code. And here the correct answer is false, as there are no applications which could run on all operating systems. Which of the operating system boot methods listed below takes advantage of network interface? CD-ROM, DVD or Blu-ray, eSATA, PXE, USB, HDD or SSD, or disk partition. So which of the OS boot methods listed below takes advantage of a network interface? And here the correct answer is PXE. And if you wish to support the channel, click on this join button, become a channel member just for $1.9 a month. This is less than a coffee, but this will be a great help and will support this channel so as you will be able to access member content and member videos of this channel. So no further ado, let's get into it. And first question. For a newly added storage drive, this command line tool allows to configure it with file system, enabling Windows to store information on the drive. Is it a format, or is it a G-part, SF disk or mount? And correct answer here is format. Next question, which of the following command prompt commands in the Microsoft Windows can be used to copy one or more files from one location to another? Copy, CP, push D or move? And correct answer here is copy. Which Microsoft Windows command line commands allows for copying multiple files and directories, including subdirectories? Move, robocopy, copy, xcopy or CP command? And here the correct answers are robocopy and xcopy. And next question, which copying utility accessible via Windows command line interface offers the widest range of options? Copy, CP, robocopy, move or xcopy? And correct answer here is robocopy. Which of the command prompt commands listed below allows for updating multiple group policy settings in Microsoft Windows? bcdedit, gpresult, gp update, net user? Correct answer here is gp update. A command line tool in Windows that displays group policy information for a machine or user is called net view, gp update, verify or gp result. So this command displays group policy information for a machine or user in Windows. And the correct answer here is gp result. The following command can be used to shut down or restart a local or remote host running Microsoft Windows. Which command is it? Power off, shut down, boot SFG or exit? And the correct answer here is shut down. The SFC command prompt utility in Microsoft Windows. What it does: checks a disk and displays a status report, displays information about system hardware and software configuration, encrypts files and folders, scans the integrity of all protected system files and replaces incorrect version with correct Microsoft version. So SFC. And the correct answer here is scans the integrity of all protected system files and replaces incorrect versions with the correct Microsoft versions. And if you don't know these commands, then watch my full course. I have a full course on Windows command prompt. I will leave it in first pinned comment of this video, where we cover these commands in more depth. Which command line commands in Windows can be used to display help information related to a specific utility? Select two answers: command name and help, help and command name info, command name /? or man command name. And this is asking about Windows commands. So man command is straight away not relevant, as this is for Linux environments. The correct answers here is command name /? and help followed by command name. Submit, and this is correct. Which of the command prompt commands in Microsoft Windows launches a text-based command line partitioning utility? Diskpart, gpart, diskutil, or sfdisk? And here the correct answer is diskpart. Which network command line utility in Windows combines the features of ping and traceroute? Passping, rpcping, netsfg, or dig? And correct answer here is passping. And let's click it, and yes, this is correct. Which of the command prompt commands in Microsoft Windows launches a pop-up window containing brief summary of the installed operating system? So which command, if you would be using that command, which would return you operating system? So system info, msinfo32, msconfig, or winware. And here I believe that all of you already know that this is winware. If you will type this command in command prompt, it will return you a pop-up of your Windows version. And which command prompt commands in Microsoft Windows move the command line prompt one folder up in directory tree? Set the prompt at the parent folder of the current folder. Select two answers: chdir / cd / and this sign, cd double dot, chdir double dot, chdir / and this sign, and cd and /. And here the correct answers are cd double dot and chdir double dot, as cd and chdir are the same commands, only cd is the shortcut of chdir. And by typing in cd double dot, it will bring you one folder back or higher in your folder hierarchy. And let's check it, and this is correct. Which of the Windows command line commands listed below change the current directory to the root directory? chdir / cd /r, cd /, chdir dot dot, cd dot dot, and chdir /r. And here we need to select two answers. Which of the Windows command line commands listed below change the current directory to the root directory? So the correct answers here are chdir /, as all we need to type is /, and cd also /, as again these are the same commands, only this is cd is a shortcut of chdir command, and by typing a / after them will bring us to root directory, or to C directory, or D directory, depends on what partition or on what disk you are on your computer. And let's check it, and this is correct. Which of the following answers refers to an ipconfig parameter used for displaying the full TCP/IP configuration information for all adapters? -a /a /all and /? So which one of these parameters we need to enter after ipconfig command to display the full TCP/IP configuration information for all adapters on the computer? So the correct answer here is /all. And a network technician uses Remote Desktop Protocol or RDP client on their Windows operating system to remotely troubleshoot a problem on another Windows machine. Which of the following ports need to be opened for the built-in Windows RDP server to allow this type of network connection? Port TCP port 1720, TCP port 636, TCP port 3389, or TCP port 445? And correct answer here is TCP port 3389. On this question we need to answer with false or true. So the Run as Administrator option in Microsoft Windows, available after right-clicking on the command prompt application icon, enables execution of shell commands reserved for system administrator. And here this is true, because if we enable run as administrator on our command line, this will allow us to execute administrative permission or system administrative permission commands. And let's check it, and this is correct. Which of the following answers describes the function of task manager taskmgr.exe select all that apply? So which of these answers which are listed here describes the taskmgr.exe or task manager function? Allows to schedule the launch of programs or scripts at predefined times or after specified time intervals. Allows system administrators to manage the currently logged in users. In Windows 8 or newer releases of the Microsoft operating system, provides access to user applications that can be enabled, disabled during system boot. Displays information on programs, processes, and services that are currently running on the computer. Allows to close non-responsive applications in Windows. And provides real-time reports on how a Windows-based computer is using system resources like CPU, RAM, disk, network, GPU usage, and provides tools for managing network traffic. Here the correct answers are, let's start from the top. So first answer is not correct, second answer is correct answer, as it allows system administrators to manage the currently logged in users. This is one of the functionality of Task Manager or one of the functions of Task Manager. In Windows 8 and newer releases of Microsoft operating system provides access to user applications that can be enabled, disabled during system boot. This is also correct answer. And displays information on programs, processes and services that are currently running on the computer. Also correct answer. And it allows also to close non-responsive applications in Windows. And it provides real-time reports on how Windows-based computer is using system resources. This is also correct answer. This is about Task Manager. I will show you what this is talking about, just if someone doesn't know what Task Manager is. This is the Task Manager on your computer, and these are the parts: processes, performance, app history, startup apps, users, details and services. This is what this question is referring to Task Manager. And let's submit it, and all answers are correct. Which tab of the Windows 10 Task Manager provides an interface for managing background processes? And this question is also about Task Manager. So which tab on Task Manager provides an interface for managing background processes? Startup, processes, performance, services or users? And here the correct answer is services. As on Windows 10 Taskbar Manager, if you click on it, it will display the interface for managing background processes. And click OK. Which Task Manager tab in Windows 10 allows to enable, disable applications that are launched automatically when signing into a user account? Processes, startup, services, performance, users, none of the above. And here the correct answer is startup. Let's click it, and this is correct. Question: what is the name of Task Manager tab in Windows 10 that provides access to a real-time graphs showing total CPU, memory, disk, network and GPU resource usage? Users, services, performance, processes or startup? And here the correct answer is performance. And next question: which Task Manager tab in Windows 10 provides real-time information about system resources used by running applications and background processes? And this is also about Task Manager. So which one of those tabs provides real-time information about system resources used by running applications and background processes? So processes, users, services, performance or startup. And here the correct answer is processes. Which of the answers listed below describes the correct sequence of steps required to close a non-responsive user application in Task Manager in Windows 10? As you know, in some scenarios applications stop working, they freeze or they become unresponsive, and you would want to shut it down or close that application, and you are not able to do it from user interface. And there is also an option from Task Manager to do this and to close the application. Which of these questions best describes the correct sequence or steps required to close a non-responsive application in this Task Manager in Windows 10? On the Applications tab, right-click on the app that isn't responding and select End Task, or left-click on the app and use End Task button in the bottom right corner of the tab. On the App History tab, as you can see, here are differences only. It is asking about on Application tab, on App History tab, App Performance tab, or on the App Processes tab. So if you're having these long questions in exam, for example, as I have also been passing Comptia A+ exam, so whenever you are having long questions, you straight away by question you try to grasp the idea what is being asked, and then only by starting reading the beginnings of the answers, if the answers are long, you can straight away target the correct answer, as the beginnings of these questions were referring to the tabs, and if the tab is incorrect, as here is on the Applications tab, on the App History tab, on the Performance tab, or on Processes tab, you straight away would know what this question is referring to and on which tab that would be, without reading all text. And then once you have selected on which tabs, then you can read that whole question. So in this particular scenario, which one of the answers listed below describes the correct sequence of steps required to close a non-responsive user application in Task Manager in Windows 10? And here we can see straight away that on the Applications tab and on the Performance tab is not correct, and on Processes tab would be the correct answer, as this is under the Processes tab. And let's click OK, and this is the correct answer. A type of customizable framework providing access to a collection of system utilities in the form of so-called snap-ins, designed to manage networks, computers, services, and other system components in Microsoft Windows, is known Administrative Tools, PowerShell, .NET, or MMC. And here the correct answer is MMC, and this is the correct answer. Which of the following launches the GUI or Graphical User Interface system utility for managing storage media in Windows? diskmgmt.msc, compmgmt.msc, devmgmt.msc, diskpart.exe. And the correct answer here is diskmgmt.msc. And submit. So which Microsoft Windows 10 editions provides the option to join a domain? Select all that apply. Pro Workstations. These are all Windows 10, like Windows 10 Pro Workstations, Windows 10 Home, Windows 10 Enterprise, or Windows 10 Pro. Here the correct answers are Windows 10 Pro for Workstations, Windows 10 Enterprise, and Windows 10 Pro. Let's click it, and these are correct answers. So next question is, in Windows 10, assigned access is the feature that allows to modify desktop style user interface by restricting a user account access to a single Windows app, aka kiosk mode. Windows 10 editions offering this functionality include. Select all that apply. And here the correct answers is Windows 10 Pro, Windows 10 Enterprise, and Windows 10 Pro for Workstations. Which editions of Microsoft Windows 10 includes Remote Desktop Client component? Select all that apply. Home, Pro for Workstations, Enterprise, or Pro. And here the correct answers: Home, as Windows 10 Home includes Remote Desktop Client component, Pro for Workstations, Enterprise, and Pro. So here in this question all answers are correct, as all these Windows 10 versions like Home, Pro for Workstations, Enterprise, and Pro, all they include a Remote Desktop or RDP client component. Next question. Which editions of Windows 10 by default does not include the Remote Desktop Server component? So this is not about Remote Desktop, but this is about Remote Desktop Server component. And here the correct answer is only Windows 10 Home. Check it, correct. And next question. Which of the following is the physical memory limit for all 32-bit x86 edition of Windows 10? And here the correct answer is 4 GB. And next question, a 64-bit x64 Windows 10 Home Edition provides support for up to 16 GB of RAM, 128 GB of RAM, 64 GB of RAM or 32 GB of RAM. 64-bit version of Windows Home Edition. And the correct answer here is 128 GB of RAM, as Windows 10 Home Edition provides 128 GB of RAM. And correct answer. And what is the physical memory limit for the 64-bit or x64 Windows 10 Pro Edition? So physical memory for Windows 10 Pro: 6 TB, 4 TB, 2 TB or 8 TB. And here the correct answer is 2 TB. Which of the 64-bit or x64 Windows 10 editions provides support for up to 6 TB of physical memory? Windows 10 Pro for workstations, Windows 10 Pro, Windows 10 Enterprise or Windows 10 Home. Here we have to answer support for up to 6 TB. And here the correct answers are Windows 10 Pro for workstations and Windows 10 Enterprise. Submit and correct. And next question: which editions of Microsoft Windows 10 includes the BitLocker drive encryption feature? Windows 10 Pro for workstations, Windows 10 Enterprise, Home or Pro. Here correct answer is Windows 10 Pro for workstations, Windows 10 Enterprise and Windows 10 Pro. All they include BitLocker drive encryption feature. Windows 10 Home doesn't include BitLocker drive encryption feature. Next question: which edition of the Windows 10 by default does not include the local group policy editor or gpedit.msc? So Windows 10 Enterprise, Pro or Pro for workstations or Home. And correct answer here is Home, as Windows 10 Home does not include a local group policy editor. An operating system installation type that preserves system settings, personal files and applications for the older operating system versions is referred to as an in-place upgrade. Microsoft Windows versions that can be upgraded to Windows 10 via this method include: so which Microsoft 10 Windows versions can be upgraded using an in-place upgrade? Windows Vista, Windows 8, Windows 8.1, Windows XP or Windows 7. So here the question is: from which of these following Windows versions you can upgrade to Windows 10 by using in-place upgrade? From Windows Vista, Windows 8, Windows 8.1, Windows XP or Windows 7. And correct answers here are Windows 7 and Windows 8.1. As from these two versions you can use in-place upgrade to upgrade to Windows 10. And next question: which of the answers listed below refer to Windows command line commands used for directory traversal? So which of these commands are used to travel or to move between directories? cd, chdir, pass, dir or pwd. And correct answers here are cd and chdir. cd is the shortcut of this command chdir or change directory. These both are the same commands, only this is shortcut, cd is the shortcut and chdir is the longer version of the same command. And next question: which of the following Windows command prompt commands can be used to list all directories, files and subdirectories contained in the current directory? So which command can you use to list all files, all directories in the directory where you are at? dir star.star, dir/all, dir/list, dir or dir/question mark. And here the correct answer is this dir ***, and obviously you can do it also with dir command. Let's submit it and continue. Which of the answers listed below refer to a Windows command line commands used to create directory or subdirectory? Select two answers: mdir, mkd, mkdir, mkdr or md. And here the correct answers are mkdir and md. And here is exactly the same. md is the same as mkdir, only md is a shortcut from mkdir. Let's click submit and this is the correct answer. Which of the following Windows command prompt commands can be used to delete a directory? rmdir, popd, rd, del dir /d. And here we need to pay attention that this question is asking which commands are used to delete a directory, not a file. If you watched my command line course, you should know that there are two different commands for deleting files and for deleting directories by using command prompt. So here the correct answers are rd and another one is rmdir. And these are also the same commands, only rd is the shortcut for rmdir, remove the directory. And correct answer, next question, which of the following Windows command line commands listed below changes the drive from C to D? So command to change drives in Windows. C : triangle bracket CD and space D : and backslash. And then C : triangle bracket D and column. C : triangle bracket D : backslash. Or the command C : triangle bracket square bracket D : square and closing square bracket. And here the correct answer is the column. As to change a drive or partition by using command prompt, you only need to specify the drive letter and column after that drive. And let's click yes, and that is correct answer. And next one is, what is the name of the Windows command prompt utility that can be used to display TCP/IP configuration settings? And now we are already talking about networking command prompt commands. So this is nslookup, ipconfig, netstat or ifconfig. And here the correct answer is ipconfig, as ipconfig allows you to display TCP/IP configuration settings. A command line utility used for checking the reachability of a remote network host is called ping, traceroute or tracert, dig and netstat. And the correct answer here is ping, as ping command is used for checking connectivity between hosts or between devices or between servers or between any network devices. And here let's click submit, and this is correct answer. Which of the following command line commands displays the name of the current computer user is connected to? Hostname, localhost, hosts or host. And this is the command which is used to display the computer's name. And the correct answer here is hostname. Next question, netstat is the command line utility used for. So what's netstat command is used for? Select two answers. Displaying network protocol statistics, displaying intermediary points on the packet route, displaying active TCP/IP connections, viewing the TCP/IP configuration details, or testing the reachability of a remote host. So not testing reachability, we already know that this is for ping command, which we just previewed, as ping only tests the connectivity between devices. So here the correct answers are displaying active TCP/IP connections and displaying network protocol statistics. These are the correct answers, and click OK and click continue. Which of the network command line tools listed below enables obtaining an FQDN to IP address mapping? Passping, netstat, tracert or nslookup? And here the correct answer is nslookup. Submit and continue. Which of the following command prompt utilities an MS Windows allows to verify the file system integrity and fix logical file system errors? Rep, SFC, DISM or check disk? And here be very careful when you are answering questions like this, because here you have to read it very carefully, as you can see that this is asking which of the following command prompt utilities or commands allows to verify the file system integrity. It is a file system. It is not a system file system. Here I already told you which is the correct answer, because if that would be system file system, then we would be using sfc command. But as this is a file system, the correct answer to this question is check this command. So be very careful on your Comptia Plus Core 2 exam when you are getting these types of questions. Be very careful when it says simply system file or file system, which command line command in Windows lists computers' connections to a shared resources. Net session, net config, net share, or net use. So to shared resources. This means to the shared drives, for example, to other servers. And here the correct answer is net use. As with net use, you are assigning other shared drives of other networks. Next question, which command prompt command in MS Windows lists the user accounts for the computer? Net accounts, net user, net session, net view. And here, logically, the correct answer is net user. In our Windows command prompt course, we reviewed how you can create users, how you can delete users, how you can list users, how you can see all information about users by using net user command. As net user command is everything to do with users which are on your computer. Next question, a network command line utility in MS Windows that tracks and displays the route taken by IP packets on their way to another host is known as. The commands are ping, traceRT, nslookup, or traceroute. And here the correct answer is traceRT. Here main thing is when you are getting questions like these, don't mix them up with traceroute, as there is no such a command as traceroute, there is only traceRT command. Which of the following symptoms is most likely a sign of ransomware? A large number of ads appear, files on devices are inaccessible, internet connectivity is lost, or battery life is reduced. Here the correct answer is files on devices are inaccessible. And next question is, a technician has been directed to dispose of hard drives from company laptops properly. Company standards require the use of high-powered men to destroy data on decommissioned hard drives. Which of the following data destruction methods should the technician choose? Shredding, incinerating, drilling, or degazing? And here the correct answer is degazing. A user reports being unable to access the internet or use wireless headphones on a mobile device. A technician confirms the headphones properly connect to another device. Which of the following should the technician do to solve this issue? Connect to a different service set identifier, disable near-field communication, turn off airplane mode, or test the battery on the device. And here the correct answer is turn off the airplane mode. A sales staff member recently left a laptop at a hotel and needs a new one immediately. After remotely wiping the old laptop, a support technician prepares to take new laptop out of inventory to begin the deployment process. Which of the following should the technician do first? Document the serial numbers and usernames for asset management, recycle all the cardboard and other shipping materials appropriately, call the hotel and demand old laptop to be sent back to the repair depot, confirm shipping address for new laptop with the sales staff member. And here the correct answer is document the serial numbers and usernames for asset management. A technician is installing M.2 devices in several workstations. Which of the following would be required when installing the devices? Electrostatic discharge straps, ergonomic floor mats, air filtration, or heat-resistant gloves. And the correct answer here is electrostatic discharge straps. And next question, a user Windows desktop continuously crashes during boot. A technician runs the following command in safe mode and then reboots the desktop. The user's profile is damaged, the system files are corrupted, the hard drive needs to be defragmented, or the system needs to have a restore performed. And correct answer here is the system files are corrupted. And next question, a user calls the IT help desk and explains that all the data on the user's computer is encrypted. The user also indicates that the pop-up message on the screen is asking for payment in bitcoins to unlock the encrypted data. The user's computer is most likely infected with which of the following? Spyware, botnet, rootkit, or ransomware? And the correct answer here is ransomware. A network engineer needs to update a network firewall, which will cause a temporary outage. The network engineer submits a change request form and performs the required maintenance. If the firewall update fails, which of the following is the next step? Acquire end-user acceptance, perform risk analysis, request a change approval, or execute a backout plan. And the correct answer here is execute a backout plan. Which of the following workstation operating systems use NTFS for the standard file system type? macOS, Windows, Linux, or Chrome operating system? And the correct answer here is Windows. Which of the following Linux commands will display a directory of files? ls, chown, chmod, or cls? And here correct answer is ls command. A technician arrives on site to find that two users who have the same model of Android smartphone are having the same issue with a specific application. Whenever they attempt to launch the application, it fails and gives an error message. Which of the following should the technician do first? Update the operating system of the smartphones, clear the application cache, reinstall the application, roll back the application to the earlier version. Here the correct answer is update the operating system of the smartphones. A technician is working on Windows 10 PC that is running slowly. Which of the following commands should the technician use to correct this issue? And here we need to choose two answers. And here the correct two answers is dism and check disk. As check disk, this command checks the file system and file system metadata of volume for logical and physical errors. It can help fix issues that might be causing the PC to run slowly. And dism, the deployment image service and management tool, can be used to repair and prepare Windows images, including the Windows recovery environment, Windows setup, and Windows PE. It can help resolve system corruptions that might be affecting performance. An administrator is setting up Windows Terminal Server. Which of the following settings should the administrator modify to increase server security? And here also we need to check two correct answers. Enforce a password complexity, use the local client certificate for server authentication, change the default access port, put the terminal server into the router's DMZ, disable logon time restrictions, or block all unsupported ports on the local area network or LAN smart switch. And the correct answer here is enforce a password complexity and change the default access port. Change the default access port. Changing the default port, usually 3389 for RDP or remote desktop protocol, makes it harder for attackers to find and exploit the terminal server. And enforce a password complexity. Ensuring strong complex passwords reduces the risk of unauthorized access through brute force attacks. A company has hired a new IT firm to manage its network switches and routers. The firm is geographically separated from the company and will need to be able to securely access these devices. Which of the following will provide the ability to access these devices? Telnet, RDP, VNC, or SSH? And here the correct answer is SSH, Secure Shell. A small office's wireless network was compromised recently by an attacker who brute forced a PIN to gain access. The attackers then modified the DNS settings on the router and spread malware on the entire network. Which of the following configurations most likely allowed the attack to take place? And here also we'll need to choose two options. Guest network, default login, WPS, outdated firmware, TKIP or WEP. And here correct answers are default login and WPS. Default login. Using default login credentials makes it easy for attackers to gain access to the router's settings. And WPS, Wi-Fi protected setup or WPS, is vulnerable to brute force attacks, allowing attackers to easily gain access to the network. A client wants a technician to create a PC naming convention that will make the client's PC easier to track and identify while in use. Which of the following naming conventions formats should the technician follow? Domain name location, IP address, domain name location asset ID, MAC address, or location RFID. And here the correct answer is domain name location asset ID, as this format includes the domain name, which helps identify the network the PC belongs to, the location for physical tracking, and the asset ID for unique identification. This combination makes it easier to manage and track PCs within an organization. And question number 17, which of the following provides the best security for the server room? And here we also need to check two. Cable lock, privacy window shades, badge reader, bollard, USB token, or biometric lock. And here the correct answers are badge reader and biometric lock. As badge reader, this allows only authorized personnel to access the server room by scanning their ID badges, ensuring controlled entry. And biometric lock, this provides an additional layer of security by requiring a unique biological trail like a fingerprint or a retina scan for access, making it very difficult for unauthorized individuals to gain entry. Which of the following threats uses personalized information in an attempt at obtaining information? Spoofing, spear phishing, impersonation, or whaling? And here correct answer is spear phishing, as spear phishing is a target attempt to steal sensitive information such as account credentials or financial information from a specific individual, often using personalized information to make the attack more convincing. This differs from general phishing, which targets a broader audience. A technician receives an invalid certificate error when visiting website with port 443 enabled. Other computers on the same LAN do not exhibit this symptom. Which of the following needs to be adjusted to fix the issue? User access control, UEFI boot mode, date and time, or logon times? And here the correct answer is date and time, as SSL certificates rely on the correct date and time settings to validate their authenticity. If the date and time on the workstation are incorrect, it can cause certificate errors when accessing website over HTTPS port 443 or 443. Which of the following is the amount of memory a user is limited with a 32-bit version of Windows? 16 GB, 4 GB, 8 GB, or 2 GB? And here the correct answer is 4 GB. As 4 GB, a 32-bit version of Windows can address a maximum of 4 GB of RAM. This limitation is due to the way 32-bit system allocate memory addresses. A technician is working at the help desk firm and receives a call from a user who has experienced repeated BSODs. The technician is scheduled to take a break just after the call comes in. Which of the following is the best choice for the technician to make? Troubleshoot the issue for the user, ask another technician to take the call, politely ask the user to call back, put the user on hold and troubleshoot after the scheduled break. Input the issue as a ticket and escalate to tier 2. And the correct answer here is ask another technician to take the call. The best choice for the technician in this scenario is ask another technician to take the call. This ensures that the user's issue is addressed promptly without delay, which is crucial for resolving repeated BSODs or blue screen of death that can significantly disrupt the user's work. It also allows the technician to take their scheduled break without compromising the quality of support provided to the user. A user's phone contains customer's PII. The user can have the phone automatically wiped because the data is very valuable. Which of the following is the best method of securing the phone? PIN lock, fingerprint lock, passcode lock, or swipe lock? And correct answer here is fingerprint lock. The best method for securing the phone in this scenario is a fingerprint lock. Fingerprint locks provide a high level of security because they are unique to the individual and difficult to replicate. This method ensures that only the authorized user can access the phone, protecting the valuable customer PII or personally identifiable information. Which of the following devices are most likely to have a grounding wire attached to them based on the manufacturer's design? And choose two: desktop printer, patch panel, server rack, PoE phone, UPS, or modem. And here the correct answer is server rack and UPS. UPS and server racks, these devices typically require grounding to ensure safety and proper operation. Grounding helps protect against electrical faults and reduces the risk of electricity shock or damage to the equipment. A technician has just finished installing a secondary operating system on a workstation. After rebooting the computer, the technician receives the following error: no OS found. The technician confirms the boot.ini file is correct. Which of the following is the most likely causing this error? The computer has grub legacy installed, Windows startup services are not running, an unsupported version of Windows is installed, and an incompatible partition is marked as active. And the correct answer here is an incompatible partition is marked as active. This issue can occur if the partition that is set as active is not the one containing the bootable operating system, leading to the system being unable to find the operating system during startup. A technician is installing a private PC in a public workspace. Which of the following password practices should the technician implement on the PC to secure network access? Remove the guest account from the administrator's group, require authentication on wake up, disable single sign-on, issue a default strong password for all users. And here the correct answer is require authentication on wake up. The best practice for securing network access in this scenario is require authentication on wake up. This ensures that the PC is protected when it wakes from sleep or hibernation, preventing unauthorized access. Joey, an employee, took a company-issued Windows laptop home, but he is having trouble connecting to any of the shared hosts on his home media server. Joey has verified he is connected to the internet. Which of the following would explain why Joey cannot access his personal shares? An IP conflict is present, a firewall exception must be set, a corporate VPN is enabled, a home group must be enabled. And here the correct answer is a corporate VPN is enabled. The most likely reason Joey cannot access his personal shares is that a corporate VPN is enabled. When a corporate VPN is active, it can route all network traffic through the corporate network, which might block access to a local network resources like Joey's home media server. A user believes there is a virus on a laptop. The user installs additional real-time protection antivirus software but is now experiencing extremely slow performance on the laptop. Which of the following should the technician do to resolve the issue and avoid recurrence? Uninstall one antivirus software program and install a different one. Run OS updates. Remove the user installed antivirus software. Enable the quarantine feature on both antivirus software programs. Activate real-time protection on both antivirus software programs. And here the correct answer is remove the user installed antivirus software, as the best course of action is to remove the user installed antivirus software. Running multiple real-time protection antivirus programs simultaneously can cause significant performance issues due to resource conflicts and high memory usage. A user who is running Windows XP calls a technician to upgrade the computer to a newer Windows operating system. The user states that the computer has only 1 GB of RAM and 16 GB of hard drive space with 1.7 GHz processor. Which of the following operating systems should a technician recommend to ensure the best performance on this computer? Windows 10, Windows 8.1, Windows 8, or Windows 7? And the correct answer here is Windows 7. As given the hardware specifications, 1 GB of RAM, 16 GB of hard drive space and 1.7 GHz processor, the best option for ensuring optimal performance would be Windows 7, as Windows 7 requires at least 1 GB of RAM, 16 GB of hard drive space and 1 GHz processor, making it more likely to run smoothly on older hardware. And next question 29. Joy, a customer, has informed a Tier 2 help desk technicians that a computer will not boot up. After about 10 minutes of troubleshooting, Joy is increasingly concerned and claims that the technician is wasting his time because he has already tried everything that has been suggested. Which of the following should the technician do? Record the call and send it to the local intranet for future technicians to learn how to deal with calls like this one. Ask more open-ended questions to see if the issue can be narrowed down in order to properly identify the issue and save time. Since Joey is concerned about time, suggest calling back later when Joey has more time to troubleshoot. Inform the customer that there is a troubleshooting script that must be followed to get the issue resolved. And here the correct answer is that you should ask more open questions to see if the issue can be narrowed down in order to properly identify the issue and save time. Which of the following security methods best describe when a user enters a username and password once for multiple applications? SSO, permission propagation, MFA, or inheritance? And here the correct answer is SSO. The security method that best describes when a user enters a username and password once for multiple applications is SSO, single sign-on. SSO allows user to log in once and gain access to multiple applications without needing to re-enter their credentials for each application. A technician is setting up a kiosk. The technician needs to ensure the kiosk is secure and users will have access to only the application needed for a customer interaction. A technician must also ensure that whenever the computer is rebooted or powered on, it logs in automatically without a password. Which of the following account types would the technician most likely set up on this kiosk machine? Administrator, a remote desktop user, power user, or guest? And the correct answer here is guest. The account type that a technician would most likely set up on the kiosk machine is a guest. A guest account is typically used for situations like kiosks where you want to provide limited access to specific applications and ensure security. Additionally, it can be configured to log in automatically without requiring a password, which is ideal for kiosk setup. A technician has been asked to recommend antivirus software for a home PC, but the user doesn't want to pay for a license. Which of the following license types should the technician recommend? Personal license, open license, corporate license, or enterprise license? And here the correct answer is open license, as an open license typically refers to software that is freely available for use, often including free antivirus solutions. This would be suitable for a user who does not want to pay for a license. Joey, a system administrator, is setting up a risk management plan for the IT department. Part of the plan is to take daily backups for all servers. These server backups will be saved locally to NAS. Which of the following can Joey do to ensure the backups will work if needed? Set up alerts to let administrators know when backups fail. Store copies of the backups off-site in a secure data center. Frequently restore the servers from backup files and test them. Set up scripts that automatically run failed backup jobs. Or configure the backups to restore the two virtual machines for quickly recovery. And here the correct answer is frequently restore the servers from backup files and test them. And next question, a SOHO or small office, home office customer has recently experienced a major hurricane. The customer has no backups and has lost all data and hardware associated with the company. The customer calls the contractor to assist in the rebuilding process and needs suggestions on the best way to prevent this from happening again. Which of the following recommendations should the contractor give to the customer? Choose two options: local storage backups, cloud storage, waterproof devices, data recovery, backup testing, or hot site. And here the correct answers is cloud storage and hot site. As cloud storage, storing data in the cloud ensures that it is safe from physical damage caused by the natural disasters. Cloud storage provides off-site backups, which are crucial for data recovery in such events. And a hot site is fully operational off-site data center that can take over operation almost immediately after disaster. This ensures minimal downtime and continuity of business operations. A technician is running updates on Windows PC. Some of the updates install properly, while others appear as failed. While troubleshooting, the technician restarts the PC and attempts to install the failed updates again. The updates continue to fail. Which of the following is the first option to check? Look at the system event viewer to find more information on the failure. Visit the Microsoft Update website to see if there is an issue with a specific update. Download the failed update to install manually. Look up the error number associated with the failed update. Here the correct answer is look at the system event viewer to find more information on the failure, as the event viewer can provide detailed logs and error messages that can help identify the root cause of the update failures. This information is crucial for effective troubleshooting and can guide the technician on the next steps to take. A technician needs to edit protected.dll file but cannot find the file in the System32 directory. Which of the following control panel utilities should the technician use? Folder options, display, system, or indexing options? And here the correct answer is folder options. By accessing folder options, the technician can enable the visibility of hidden files and protected operating system files, which might be why the .dll file is not visible in the System32 directory. A technician has identified malware on the user's system. Which of the following should the technician do next according to malware removal best practices? Move the infected system to a lab with no network connectivity. Educate the user about how to avoid malware in the future. Enable system restore and create restore points so no data is lost. Or update the antivirus software and run full system scan. And here the correct answer is move the infected system to lab with no network connectivity, as isolating the infected system prevents the malware from spreading to other devices on the network. Once isolated, the technician can proceed with further steps like updating antivirus software and running full system scan. Question 38. A user Windows laptop has become consistently slower over time. A technician checks the CPU utilization and sees that it varies between 95% and 100%. After the technician closes some running applications, the CPU utilization drops to approximately 20%, and the laptop runs much faster. The next day, the same user calls again with the same problem. Which of the following is a tool the technician can use to resolve the issue? msconfig, perfmon, task manager, or mstsc? And here the correct answer is perfmon. Perform can help identify which processes or applications are causing the high CPU usage over time. By setting up performance counters and monitoring the system, the technician can pinpoint the root cause of the issue and take appropriate action to resolve it. A user is requesting a solution that will prevent file corruption and ensure the graceful shutdown while providing at least 1 hour of uptime in case of extreme weather conditions. Which of the following should the technician recommend? Surge protector, power disruption unit, uninterruptible power supply, or power strip? And here the correct answer is uninterruptible power supply. The best option to prevent file corruption, ensure a graceful shutdown, and provide at least 1 hour of uptime during extreme weather conditions is uninterruptible power supply. And question number 40, last question. Which of the following installation types would require use of an answer file to install the operating system? Clean, upgrade, unattended, or repair? And here the correct answer is unattended. The installation type that requires the use of an answer file to install the operating system is unattended. An answer file automates the installation process by providing all necessary configuration settings, allowing the operating system to be installed without user intervention. So yes guys, here you go, 40 questions for Core 2 for Comptia A+ exam, and if you found this video useful, leave a like, share this video, subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions, leave them in comments, and see you in the next one.